Hola amigos, hello friends. Are you ready for another story? Let's read. Vamos a leer. This book is called Little Acorn. That's an acorn right there. In case you don't know what an acorn is, it's something that grows on a tree. The author of this book is, let's see, I can't find it. Oh, I have to look on the inside. Oh, the author of this book is Melanie Joyce. Look, it's written really, really tiny right there. It took me a second to find it. The author is Melanie Joyce. Who can cover their mouth and raise a quiet hand and tell me, what does the author do? Oh, I like your quiet hand. Tell me, what does the author do? Tell your family, what does the author do? That's right. The author writes the books. And don't worry if you forget, because I'm going to sing my song every single day. The author writes the books. The author writes the books. Hi-ho librario. The author writes the books. Little Acorn. When I was just an acorn, nobody noticed me. I watched the world below go by from high up in my tree. So there's the acorn, way up high. I nestled under cozy leaves and sheltered from the rain, growing fat and shiny when the sun came out again. So there he is when it's raining. The leaves are like a little umbrella for him. And then the sun came out and he grew bigger and bigger and bigger. When the summer faded, the leaves turned golden brown. Bye-bye, acorn, said the leaves, floating to the ground. So you can tell it's fall because the leaves have changed colors and they're falling to the ground. Wait for me, I called. Then ready, steady, jump. Whee! I tumbled through the air and landed with a thump. So there's Mr. Acorn. He wanted to go with his leaf friends. Squirrel was collecting nuts for his winter store. He hid me carefully away beneath the forest floor. So there's the squirrel packing up all of his nuts for the winter. And there's Mr. Acorn. He buried him in the ground. Underground, everything was snuggly and still. I waited very patiently for time to pass. So there he is underground. You see some dirt. There's a couple of rocks. Look, there's a little worm. So we waited patiently until I felt a sudden change beginning deep inside. I'm feeling so peculiar. What's happening? I cried. Friends, do you know that word peculiar? That's just a fancy word for strange. So I'm feeling so strange. What's happening? I cried. You're growing up, said the worms, all wriggling about. When acorns fall into the soil, at some point they will sprout. So you see right there, that's a sprout, a little leaf growing from him. So the dirt is like food to him as he's underground. I giggled as I felt tickly, teeny tiny shoots, and before I knew it, I had sprouted little roots. So there you go, that's the roots. The roots are what's at the bottom of a plant or a tree that keeps it stuck into the ground so it doesn't fall over. I started to stretch up, wiggling left and right, reaching up and up and up until I pushed into the light. So there you can see his roots, and they're getting bigger and bigger, and he's growing up towards the top of the dirt, and now he's at the top, and can you see right there? There's a little bit of a sprout coming right out of the top. Warmed by gentle sunbeams, my little leaves unfurled. I was so excited to be back out into the world. As the weeks and months passed by, I grew and grew and grew. So there he is, getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Squirrel spotted me and said, I've been looking everywhere for you. The seasons changed, and so did I. In sunshine, in rain, and snow. My branches stretched, my trunk grew tall, my roots spread far below. Wow, that acorn has turned into a big giant tree. Among my sturdy branches, the birds built cozy nests. My twigs and leaves made soft, warm beds for my little feathered guests. So there you go. Look, the birds and the squirrels are climbing on the branches. There's a nest for the little baby birds to grow in. Excuse me. Spiders weaved their sticky webs, and beetles scurried by. Squirrels scampered playfully and made their homes up high. You see there's some more squirrels. There's a little spider, some beetles. Lots of things live in the trees. That acorn grew into a tree and gave them all a home. Or a playground, if you want to call it that too. The creatures of the forest had never seen a finer tree. I wondered, would there ever be another one like me? Wow, look at all of those leaves. He's so big, he's taking up 2 pages there. Then, one breezy morning, I woke up with a yawn. I stretched my branches and out jumped a special little acorn. So the acorn grew into a big, beautiful tree and then made an acorn of its very own. Every oak tree starts life as a seed called an acorn, growing into a big adult tree. The acorn drops off into the soil where it sprouts roots, and as the roots grow down, a leafy shoot sprouts up, growing taller and taller and taller. The acorn is now a baby tree called a seedling. It continues to grow bigger and bigger and bigger until it is a new oak tree and grows acorns of its own. So here it is. This is called a life cycle. This is the life cycle of an acorn. So it starts out little bitty, and then it grows and turns brown, and then it falls off the tree and lands in the dirt, and the roots grow, and the sprout comes up, and then the sprout gets bigger and starts to make leaves, and then it turns into a tree, and then it becomes an even more beautiful and big oak tree and makes acorns of its very own, and then it starts all over. Friends, did you like that story about the little acorn? Guess what? Remember how we talked at the beginning of the year about how some books are my books and some books will be gifts for you? The little acorn is one of the books that I bought for you. So when school is over at the end of the year, the little acorn is one of the books that you'll get to take home with you, and it'll be your very own. Friends, I hope you liked my story today. I love you, te amo, I miss you, te extraño, and I wish you well. Te deseo éxito. Adios, amigos. Bye, friends.